Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's video we're going to be mostly focusing on the charts. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. It's also a Sunday, a little bit more calm, but we did have some interesting things happen with some of these altcoins. So today we're going to be discussing Bitcoin, Ethereum, Orchid, the Graph, 0x, Ren, Chainlink, and Algorand. I think those are all good. I feel like I'm about to sneeze again. And just a couple quick things in the news with this. So it's probably going to be a shorter video as we mostly dive into the charts. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. Let's try to get to 50 likes on this video, just like every video. And also click the bell icon so you can stay up to date for all the latest crypto news and technical analysis. And let's get into this. First up, Bitcoin Open interest hits $8.8 billion as 45% of Bitcoin options expire within the next 2 weeks. Over the past 2 months, the open interest on Bitcoin options has held reasonably steady, even as the figure increased by 118% to reach $8.4 billion as Bitcoin price rose to a new all-time high. The result of Bitcoin's price appreciation and the rising open interest on Bitcoin options has resulted in a historic $3.8 billion expiry set for January 29th. Grayscale. Check this out. Grayscale Investments Bitcoin Trust posted an average daily turnover of almost $1 billion in the first 2 weeks of the year, which is more than 9 times the average in 2020. The publication added, the Bitcoin Trust assets under management grew from $1.8 billion to $17.5 billion during the year. Meanwhile, Canadian asset manager 3iQ, which I've never heard of these people before, says its Bitcoin fund has reached a milestone exceeding 1 billion Canadian dollars, $785 million in assets under management. So this 3iQ, they're doing pretty darn good as far as their holdings for Bitcoin too. I had to say it. And give me 1 second, guys. I had to just blow my nose real quick. I didn't want you guys to hear that. Anyways, so now we're going to go ahead and dive into the charts here. Looking at Bitcoin, we're at about $35,800. It's almost 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, my time. So it's been about 3 hours that we've been into the new daily candle position. And the waters are pretty calm as far as for what's going on with Bitcoin. You can actually see the last 3 days in a row we've had of decline. There was actually a moment yesterday where the price had dropped all the way down to $33,800, which actually gone below the 21 EMA. And if we decide to move sideways, we're drawing pretty close within range to potentially dropping underneath the 21 EMA. But having 3 days of closure in the red consecutively, we did have a 4th day in a row starting back on the January 9th period. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that dropped all the way from a top of $41,400 approximately down at one point, actually got all the way down to $30,156 before it retraced back and then had a little bit further of a decline again. If we decide to see this drop even further down, the 21 EMA is at $34,142. Another level is going to be at $33,300. Another level at $32,000, and then another level at approximately $30,000. Major level of resistance. Support. Major level of support is at $30,000, especially from a psychological standpoint. Right now, we are still closer to $40,000 than the $30,000 mark. And keep in mind, the Grayscale is now coming back into the equation, starting to buy more Bitcoin. So the odds of having huge sell-offs going on with Bitcoin are becoming slimmer and slimmer as these major institutions decide that they want to keep on holding. So if this decides it wants to go up, then we could be looking at a major level of resistance at $39,100. Not only does this coincide with the level of support from the dotted line that I show you guys right here, but that actually does go in line with the January 14th candle position and near the actual January 9th position for the wick as well. So I would say that's a major level right there. And then the next level that we would see would be $41,342. Getting back up to that price would put us back on track to this previous trend increase on the road towards 100,000 if we were to have the same pattern repeated. Outside of that, if it decides it wants to climb even higher, then I would really be looking at about $45,000 as another major level of new record trying to set. We do have it currently set up at $42,000 though, so keep that in mind. All right, let's go into Ethereum. Now looking at Ethereum, we've had some sideways action going on here. A lot of people were wondering, man, are we going to be hitting that new all-time high? A lot of people thought it was going to be happening this weekend. And although for Pacific Standard Time, we're still technically in Sunday, the candle is now showing position for Monday, and didn't happen. So bounced right off of $1,284, came down, closed out pretty much neutral. Right now the position is moving slowly down, but not a lot of action really going on with that. Break above $1,284, and then we're back on track. We have a little bit of resistance that took place back on January 10th. That's it, $1,350. Then we got a level at $1,420, which is a previous all-time high. And then we've got price discovery zone. The sky is the limit after that point. If this decides that it wants to drop down, we have major level support at $1,071, approximately $1,000 from a psychological standpoint. Further decline down below that is $907. Another level down below that is $836. The RSI is suggesting that we're still on the verge of being overbought, so it could potentially have some sell-off pressure down there. But as I've mentioned before, we're in a bear market right now. A lot of circumstances are kind of changed from what we've seen on a standard perspective view, so I wouldn't weigh too heavily on the RSI. But if you want to go ahead and factor it in right now, just letting you guys know that it's a little bit on the verge. It's almost on the verge of being technically overbought. Still okay, but it's getting up there pretty high. By the way, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't ask me directly what you should or should not invest in, but I will let you guys know the news and I'll do my own technical analysis, but you should always do more research on your own. And legally, I cannot tell you should invest in this, you shouldn't invest in that. All right, I can tell you what I find interesting. So speaking of which, let's go on now to the other altcoins as we move through these fairly quickly. First up, we got the graph. We just talked about this the other day. And looking at the graph, it is continuing to move itself up, passing through that 0.382 on the Fibonacci retracement, having 1 point even past the 0.5, going almost to the 0.618. It was a really nice day for its candle yesterday. I mean, technically even better the day before. But it is now still in the green, still holding itself up above 50 cents, which is absolutely great. I'd be looking at major resistance at the 0.5 level or 54 cents. And then another major zone right here at 60 cents. Decides it wants to drop down. The 0.32 in the Fibonacci is 0.47, 47 cents. And then a further decline down. That 21 EMA is resting essentially right on line with the 0.236 of the Fibonacci, which is 39 cents. These are the major levels that you guys should be keeping your eyes on. As of right now, it is still showing some bullish trend action. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of closure in the green. Volume looks like it is progressively rising up, so this could be signs of a strong rally as we are seeing a shift taking place in this direction. But keep in mind that too many days of green, you can't just keep going green all the time. Like if you're playing roulette and you're going to bet either red or black, you can only get red in a row so many times. So it's just how it is, right? You can only go up for so long until eventually it pulls back. I know this is just super basic standard stuff that I'm telling you guys, but what I'm trying to do is to prepare you to not get caught up too much in the hype, saying in your head, well, it passed 50 cents now, it could go to $1 tomorrow. Well, yeah, but I would say statistically, just the fact that we have so many consecutive days of green in a row, there's a higher chance that people are going to be trying to sell off a little bit sometime soon. I will say this, if Ethereum passes its all-time high, it is very likely that we're going to have then altcoin season, and coins like the graph are also going to be exploding, and it's probably going to blow people's minds. And things like going towards $1 could just be a drop in the bucket to what its actual full potential is, as more people start to realize that some of these altcoins do have a lot of potential for long-term perspective use cases, right? So that's looking at it for the graph. Now let's go ahead and take a look at 0x or OX. Oh, wait, what? Oh, that's right. It's a different abbreviation. It's 0x, my bad. 0x USD. Look at it, ZRX USD. It is also moving pretty well here. It's about halfway up that previous climb position. And I'm going to go ahead and set up a Fibonacci retracement from up to the top there all the way down to right about here. That looks pretty good. And I feel like with me being sick and a little bit tired and out of energy and stuff, I'm kind of turning into a Bob Ross painting right here. And with where we have this right now, above the 0.382, we're halfway to the way to 0.5 right now. And the previous day candle was very close to actually hitting that. So I would be looking at this as a major level of resistance at 0.642, approximately 64 cents. You can actually see back on January 9th. Same thing, the wick had just slightly passed up above that and then retraced back down. So 3 consecutive days of closure in the green. Things are looking pretty good for it so far. If it decides it wants to pull back, the 0.56, 56 cents is going to be a first level of support. Further decline down, we could see at 47 cents approximately. And then a further drop down below that is where everything kind of flatlines itself out. And I would actually be looking at right about here at 35 cents first, as we're seeing a lot of associations taking place there. And then a further level at 30 cents. But a 30-cent position would be half of where we're at right now. That's a substantial drop. Things are holding up pretty well. Going all the way up to the top here, you can actually see that $1 was right around that bounce zone. So will it be able to pass that? We'll have to see. With where it's currently holding up right now, it's even past its previous position back on May 8th of last year. So it's doing pretty good, and it's looking like it's having a pretty strong rally. But again, just be cautious. Big candles that take place the previous day, sometimes there's a chance of that sell-off. It looks like people are trying to go to the altcoins right now for some of their investment opportunities. Okay, give me 1 second again. Again, so sorry about that, guys, with me being sick. And next up, we got Ren. How did Ren do yesterday? Oh, well, it's been doing really good consecutively for a couple days here. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of closure in the green, starting at 36 cents. That nice little bounce off that 21 EMA. I'm telling you guys, the 21 EMA is a beautiful thing. Now, in its new daily candle position, still doing pretty well. Volume is sporadic. We still don't have as much volume as what we saw back on December 29th, but we have a couple days here that are higher than we've seen in that weekly pattern since then. If we actually go back historically here, according to the Coinbase side, we don't really have much to reference off of going all the way back to October 6th, but you can see Ren is actually having a nice little run up. And it's still going. So it hit its, I believe it hit its all-time high. Let's go double check on CoinMarketCap just to play it safe. We got Ren, not USD. And looking at Ren at its all-time high, was at 68 cents, which had happened today. So it did hit its all-time high. Holding up very well. A little bit of a pullback action, people trying to take some profits. Where this could end up going to next is a very good question. If you want me to look more into this in another episode, I can try and dive into it. Taking a look at it just very briefly here with its circulating supply, it's almost 1 billion. Maximum supply is actually, oh, 1 million. Yeah, 884 million, going closer to 1 billion. So it's got a pretty high circulating supply, not as much as some of these other cryptos that we've seen. Total market cap value of $566 million right now. easily this thing could end up hitting $1 billion just based on how some of the other market cap coins have been showing themselves to pass $1 billion industry space. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen anytime soon. Estimates, though, if you did roughly twice the value, you'd be looking at over $1 in its price, or more specifically over $1.20. So there's plenty of room to still grow, especially since we have just now recently hit its all-time high. The only concern is this the top? That's a big question that's going to be for a lot of people, right? If this decides that it wants to start dropping back down to these previous levels, I would be concerned with, first off, a drop down to the 0.786 on the Fibonacci retracement, which is approximately 60 cents. Next level down below that at 52 cents. We drop down even further, 47 cents. And then we hit that 21 EMA at 44 cents approximately. If this decides it wants to continue to climb up, we could see it go up towards 98 cents right here, which is on the 1.68. That's actually very close to the $1 range. I'd be looking at that as the next major level of super resistance. And if we actually took the pattern here, let me go ahead and, let me start this too, so I don't keep forgetting where it's at. Let's go ahead and copy this. And if we were to go ahead and close out today with where we are at currently, then we could end up passing the $1 region zone. Or if we even go ahead and drop this down to where we're at right now, you can see that actually lines up pretty well there too. That would put us at the $1 region zone on January 24th, which would be about a week from now. Specifically, it's 1 week from now. Oh God, I shouldn't laugh. So yeah, it's moving pretty well, but to have consecutive green candles just like what it had without any kind of days of pullback, it's kind of hard to say. But we could also have another candle that really pushes us up and rallies hard. Altcoin season can be very unpredictable. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this right there for the time being, and we're gonna go take a look at the next coin. Next one up we got is Chainlink. Looking at Chainlink. Chainlink is holding up really well. I don't actually need any of this stuff anymore. We just hit our all-time high for Chainlink. Go ahead and set this up as green right here. I'm going to set this up as a solid line as well. And then we're going to set up another level down below right here. So this is our major level of resistance and our major level of support based on this position pattern. As it just hit its new all-time high, it is now entering into the price discovery zone. The RSI is suggesting an overbought position. A really strong rally was taking place, wanting to get it into that new high. It is still holding above currently $20. I'd be looking at $20 from a psychological standpoint as a level of support. And that actually ties in pretty closely right here with the candle closure that took place on January 16th, aka also the candle opening on January 17th. So $20 is a first level of support. Further level down below that, I'd be looking at, let's go ahead and get you guys some lines going on here first. So we got one right here. And then we got another one going on right here. We have several candle positions that line up, creating a trend pattern. 1, 2, 3, essentially 4, and that's all going down to the 17-cent range, $17.38 range, and then the level above that, $20, as we were talking about. But the lowest level right now is actually looking like it's $16.91. Next major zone that it could enter up into, I would be targeting $25. Again, it's mainly a psychological element, trying to hit these $5 increments, $25, $30, etc. I'm moving progressively $1 at a time. And then last one, I believe. Nope. Oh, we got Algorand. Okay. Algorand, and then we'll finish up with Orchid. And again, if you guys are new to the channel and enjoying this, please don't forget to hit subscribe, hit that thumbs up like button. All right, so looking at Algorand, I'm actually going to cover this one pretty brief. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of candle closures in the green. We also have hit a pretty high position, but not as high as what we've had before. It did pass through this major green zone of support, what I was setting up from prior, up right here. And our major zone is actually going to be all the way up at $7.70, or sorry, not $7, 77 cents. Again, I do apologize, guys, if I sound a little bit out of it. I do feel a bit sick right now. Good thing I actually stayed home. I was thinking about going to the beach or something today. I know the air may have been good, but I've been blowing my nose and stuff, you know how that goes. And so looking at this, I'm going to set up one more major level right here. And let's also get that Fibonacci retracement back into this kind of position. I'm now going to invalidate this previous section just to clean up the table right here a little bit more. And we have that breakout that already occurred. And that looks a lot better just like that. Actually, I don't even need to put that one in because we've already got that set up. Now let me go ahead and get this saved. So right here, we got a major level at 77 cents. Further level below that is at 66 cents, which is actually very close to the 0.786 on the Fibonacci retracement. That's right around 65 cents. Further decline down is actually a level of support now because we are in the new high positions as compared to what we've had previously, getting closer to what we've had previously. And that next level of major support is at 57 cents, which lines up really well with the 0.618. Then we got 0.5 on the Fibonacci retracement, which is at 50 cents. Then the 21 EMA at 45 cents, respectively. And then let's go ahead and go into Orchid and wrap up this video. Looking at Orchid. Orchid still trying to get back up to that $1 zone. It's got a long way to move for all this, so let's go ahead and zoom on in here. We did very briefly break out above this consolidated space, essentially having tapped off of this not 21 EMA, sorry, off of the 0.5 on the Fibonacci retracement. So that level is showing. I used a lot of fundamentals, you know, I don't have to throw a bunch of different stuff at the wall. Like, this stuff holds up really well. And I've noticed that some people, they start using too many different chart patterns. It's almost like, well, look over here, now look at this, now look at this one, now look at this, right? And you don't even know what to track anymore. So keeping it some fundamentals, you can kind of keep yourself grounded a little bit better. Looking at the 0.5 on the Fibonacci retracement right here, that's at 33 cents respectively. Bounced off of that, came back down. We got the 0.382 as another level of support currently, and that is at 30 cents. And then a further level down below on the 21 EMA is at 27 cents. And then just a slight decline below that would hit the 0.236 on the Fibonacci retracement at 26 cents, or 0.2638. And then I would look at realistically a big bottom position at 24 cents or 0.2459 right now. That would be a substantial decline. There is some selling that's taking place right now, but it's still holding above 30 cents, which is absolutely great. We typically have these tall wicks that take place as it tries to rally itself up, and a lot of people keep fighting back against it, which is pretty surprising in my personal opinion. But as it is right now, things are still looking really good. I want to see it pass above that 32 cents. No major news coming out with Orchid quite yet, but they've been working on a lot of stuff, so hopefully they got something great coming out soon. Again, I really hope that they announce that they're doing some expansions beyond just the VPN space for these nano payments, because that would be extremely bullish. And seeing something like Chainlink that's going above $20, you know, $21, $22, the circulating supply is very similar. Right now, Chainlink has more use cases, and so its price is more validated. Orchid trying to hit the same kind of price range, being focused only on VPNs, I don't really see it. But oh my gosh, you know how nice it would be after all the junk, for those of you guys that have been holding on to Orchid, like I've been holding on to Orchid, going from this dollar all the way down and having to deal with all this time, because that dollar was all the way back around August, middle of August, right? It's been a decent minute since we've had that. Not as long as what some people have been waiting since like the 2017 period, don't get me wrong. But now is an opportunity where this coin is on the major exchanges. It's got a really good development team. It's got a very promising future. It fits into a niche market right now. It's got a lot going for it. So if everything else is going to be rallying and hitting some super high moments, and it's a good opportunity for people to come out, you know, on top for having chosen good investment projects. To me, this feels like a very good project, and it should be up in those ranks too. At the very least, I think Orchid deserves to be above $1 by now. But that's just my personal opinion. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you guys have any other altcoins you've been keeping your eyes on, let me know. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. Let's try to get to 50 likes on this video, and also click the bell icon so you can stay up to date for all the latest cryptocurrency news and technical analysis. I appreciate all of you guys so much. Everybody, feel free to say hello in the comments down below. Let me know that you were here. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next episode.